There we are. We're away. We had a bit of a problem. Get that in position. Let's get the computer on. I don't know if anybody's joined at the moment, but we will have a few joining us. As soon as I see one joining us, I'll start going. Let me just get this on now. Running late this morning simply because I decided to take a phone call, and that's just a silly thing. We've got one live view. Well, here we go. That's it. That's all we need. Now let's get the computer on. Let's get this one on. Oops. Thanks for joining. It's all happening here this morning. Let's just get this one on because I want to see what's actually happening in the world. That'll come on in a minute. Well, there you are. Welcome to the Saturday morning podcast, Saturday morning live with Johnyboy. My apologies. We've got Taffy's joining. Hi, Ben. How's it going? So my apologies for last week. We were unavoidably detained through family commitments. That's all I can say. Family commitments. No problem. It's all good. And we're still moving on in the right direction. We've had one thumbs up this morning. Not everybody has been able to work out how we do these thumbs up. Rob Fryer's joined us. John Stewart, good morning from Scotland. Hey guys, as you join, if you can just let us know where you're from, it'd be interested to actually see. I'm going to see if I can get a pair of glasses. I got a pair of glasses to read. Rob Fryer, family first, mate. Yeah, absolutely. It is family first, but we do it for the family, don't we? We have to work hard. We have to do our bit to earn a crust, and I think that's been one of the bone of contentions over the years, how difficult it is when you're doing this job that we're doing. We're doing it out in all Sheffield from Rob Fry there. We're doing it out in all those inclement weather conditions. As per usual, on cue, the dogs start barking, but that's allowed. I wonder what we can do if we can get the light on here now. Moment. There we are. Lights on. I don't think that makes any better. I'm not quite sure. We're going to have to start thinking a little bit more about the lighting in this studio. We've got Jamie Mullane from Ireland. John Mulaney. Hi, John. Sorry about that. Sorry about the pronunciation. All it is I should be wearing my glasses. Bent Legs Taffy. I am from just outside Bridgend, South Wales. I'll tell you something, it'd be good to meet up. It's always good to see some locals on here joining the live stream. My apologies for being a bit late. I think we got a call in this morning. That's why I was a little bit late. It's been a big hectic, but we've got to just say a massive support to ITS. Massive thanks to ITS for their support of this live stream. ITS, you can go to their website, which is www.its.co.uk, and if you're spending over £50, you can actually have, if you put the Johnyboy promo code in, you'll get a free set of tools of some sort or a little welcome pack or something. And if you spend over £100 and you type in Johnny Truck, you will get your remote control truck. You know, it's something. The point is, we'll be talking about this after, about companies valuing you as landscapers, as contractors, and also as consumers. It's so important that companies recognize us and not think it's just about entitlement. That's what I've been banging on about for years. Just going to read a couple of the comments there. John Garrett, good to watch a craftsman, John from Cardiff. John Garrett, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I am getting better, and the reason that I'm getting better because I put my products and what I do, what I produce out here on social media, and I don't mind people looking at it simply because they can point out all the pitfalls, all the things I'm doing wrong, and how I can get better. So that's absolutely fine. Also, Bent Legs Taffy, it would be great to meet up. Love your channel, work and enthusiasm and energy. I tell you what, bud, if we never had the enthusiasm, if we never had the passion and the energy, where would we be? We got to have something. And I'm surprised sometimes that the people are actually in this industry that are landscaping out there. So as I said, I had a bit of a problem last week. Not a problem, but I had a family commitment, and I've been on that job. It's been absolutely hectic, but it's more or less complete at last. Thank goodness for that. I've just had a notification come in there. Say, I don't know what I've done this morning, but I just hope that this doesn't freeze, because when we've had a call before, I'm not quite sure whether if I've put it on flight mode or not. John, your suction cup is here. Just for those viewers who are watching now, we gave a free Ruby suction cup away the other day, and John Ward was the recipient of it. Once I decide to write is, John, I've lost your number. If you can drop me a message after the live stream, I'm going to get that post and packaged and get it off to you ASAP. That's the Ruby suction cup that you can use for porcelain or hone stone. It's not so good on riven stone, and that's when you want one of those mechanical suction cups, because that will almost lift anything. Look, I don't want to sound sort of monosyllabic and sort of boring on here, but it's great to have you on here this morning. Hi Johnny, I've recently discovered your YouTube channel. I've just started my own business myself, finding your videos very useful, and thank you very much, Dave from Suffolk. Dave Owens, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. My videos are really, I got to admit, it's probably a little bit selfish, but they're to help me, because I get a lot of feedback, but they are also to show the consumer and also other contractors what I'm doing, and hopefully as a community we can actually improve on a daily basis. John Stewart says, can you recommend best stuff to use for getting cement from porcelain slabs? Hey, that's a real nightmare, isn't it? And I had a little bit of a problem this week, but I've been talking to a couple of people. One of the guys I've been actually talking to is a guy at Floor Seal, Graham. My God, Graham, your mind, the information that is just unbelievable, and he knows his stuff. And I had a little bit of a problem, and Graham was able to help me out. Check him out, floorseal.co.uk. You can go on their site, you can give them a ring, speak to them, and morning as a lad, bent legs. Love it. Yeah, get on there, have a look, Floor Seal. I keep telling you guys that Ryan, the customer that I work for, who is a chemist, has a new product. It's nearly there, but he's been delayed because he's had a little baby girl called Isabella. So all the best. We want to wish Ryan, not Brian, if Ryan's watching this morning, Ryan and Rebecca and Isabel, congratulations. You know, that little beautiful little baby, absolutely stunning. I've seen it on Instagram, and she's gorgeous. All the best, Ryan. But Ryan will have a breathable sealer for porcelain and the grout systems. Not always just the porcelain, it is the grouting systems. The grouting systems, a lot of them for porcelain, generally are cementatious grout, so you've got to keep it clean, and the way of doing it is simply through, because they will go green, is basically by sealing it. John Ward says, no problem, John, as hope everyone will lovely weather, lads. Yeah, absolutely. It's great when people start talking to each other. Best to wash as you go, in my opinion. Sick of lies. Yeah, absolutely. So important to keep it clean. We got a first caller in. Let's take it now. Hello? Hello. Who am I talking to?
It's been Jenny.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Good. Thanks for joining the live stream this morning. I think that I apologise for not. I sort of took your call then, but I was going live. But you probably don't realise that. What was your name again?
Right.
I can't hear you. What you said your name was again?
It's Jenny.
Jenny, sorry, Jen, I can hear you now. My apologies. Just want to say, Jen, thanks for joining this morning, and I'm here to answer your questions. But you probably don't realise how many people you will help by the questions that you're going to put to me now, and I'm ready, so fire away.
Yeah, so I've been watching your videos on laying the porcelain tiles, and over the top of the hardcore, you put down something called a lean mix.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wondered what that was, and what it was made up of, and what to use, really.
Well, okay, in civil engineering terms, when we used to build roads years ago, and they still use this method now, basically is that if you understand how concrete is made, when you have a wet pour concrete, when you see like when people pour concrete, it's generally wet. That is usually quite a strong product. But what they will do, they will put steel in it so it doesn't fragment, because it seems crazy really, but the more water you put in any concrete or any mortar, it becomes weaker, because when you get the water that dries out, it fragments. So what they do in road building, they'll dig the road out, they put geotextile and terams and geotextile membranes of all sorts. Then they use a cheap filler like MOT to bring it up to a level. And then what they do, Jen, they put a thing called lean mix. A lean mix is basically sand and chippings, the same as what goes into concrete. But what they do, they reduce the cement content. So this might sound crazy now, but don't do this. But I've seen it literally 99 to 1. So that's 99 shovelfuls to 1 cement. But in the case that I use, it's normally around about 12 shovelfuls of sand and chippings to 1 cement. And basically what that does, that creates almost like a rigid paving system. So you bring your levels up with your MOT and you compact that. But what the Lee mix will do, it will create a rigid system, and it's a little bit more finer on top. You still compact it, but you don't put so much water in it, Jen. It's almost, so the best way to sort of describe it, so if you've mixed it at 15 to 1, say, or 12 to 1, what you actually do is you add a little bit of water as you go and you mix it up. And if you're able to form a ball with it, like a cricket ball size, and it stays together, then you're heading in the right direction. So what I would say, yeah, somebody's just saying now, ballast all right for Lee mix. Yeah, absolutely. So what I would say is that, you know, when you see like the block paving bricks that you see on driveways.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's made up of a mix with very little water, but the blocks are compacted and compressed. So what you do, just the same way that you whack or compact your MOT, once you put your lean mix on top and you compact that, what that will do, that will create a rigid system. But also what it will do, it will ensure that the mortar that you put down to lay your slab will stick to your lean mix better than it will with the MOT.
Right, perfect. Okay.
Yeah, but what you, just a tip, Jen, what you need to do is once you've got your lean mix in place and it's all looking nice and flat and level, what you do is before you start laying is mix up some SBR, maybe about 50 to 1. And SBR is like a white, it's a rubber solution basically, and you mix it in, and it's a sealer. So you mix it in with some water, tip it all on your lean mix when you're ready to go. And that will what will happen, Jen? That will ensure that your lean mix doesn't suck all the moisture out of your mortar bed.
Right, perfect. And is there a particular brand that you use for your
Well,
SBR?
I think Seekers is good because they're a well-known brand. I think Seekers, I don't know if any of those guys watching now can put me right, but I think Seekers is made by Bostik, I think it is. So they're a big company. But I think if you do it roughly about 50 to 1 and just pour it, just empty out the bucket, pour it on all over, and then pour a couple on. And what that will do, it will stop the mortar sucking, it will stop the lean mix sucking, and it happens with MOT as well. When MOT's dry in this weather and you put your mortar bed down, what will happen is it will basically suck all the moisture out of your mortar, and then that's when you get like rapid curing and evaporation, and it's just not good at all. But Jen, don't forget, are you laying porcelain slabs?
Yes, well, porcelain tiles, yeah.
Yeah, so what you need to do is you need to make sure that you put the slurry on the back of your slab as well.
Yeah, got that, yeah.
But Jen, make sure also, there's a lot of tips here that, and I don't want to, you're more than welcome to phone back at any time, is that when you put your slurry on, make sure there's lots of different slurries out there. There's some slurries that you slurry the day before, but there's some slurries like Easy Prime from Aspects, and you know, I think it's good. When I put it on, I slap it on almost like cream cheese, like Artex, so that basically it's going to make sure it sticks to the mortar. And don't put too much.
Yeah, you've got good coverage.
Yeah, and don't put too much water again. Apply the same principle to your mortar as what you do with your lean mix, because if, as you can imagine, Jen, if you get a bag of sharp sand, and I always do 5-to-1 for my mortar, if you've got a bag of sharp sand, a bulk bag, is that the best way to put it, if you was watching Mary Berry, she would say 6 ounces of self-raising flour, she would say 2 ounces of currants, baking powder, etc., right? And then she would say half a teaspoon of water. But the trouble about our industry is that what happens is people say, what mix you do? And they'll say 5-to-1, 2-to-1, whatever it is. I'm not quite sure, whatever these people use. But they never talk about the water content. And again, the same principle should apply to your mortar as what it does to your lean mix. Now, I'm sure there's guys going to be watching this live stream this morning, and I see people on a regular basis just putting too much water in. And as you can imagine, that water content, when it starts to dry, you're left almost with an aero bar. It's like a chocolate bar. There's no body in it. So in the same principle as when they make those block paving bricks that are on your driveway, it's done with a mixture that has very little moisture in it, but they compact it. So when you put your bed down, it doesn't have to get complicated because it's all about different stages. When you put your bed down for your mortar isn't going to have all the water being sucked out of it from the lean mix underneath. Then you've got your slab with a slurry on. But what I always do, Jen, if you start off, have you got a big patio to lay?
About 40 odd square meters, yeah.
Well, do you know, listen, that's a nice size. That's an average patio. What I would say is your very first slab, once you've got your bed down, don't put any slurry on your slab initially. Lay it drop, put your slab down with no slurry on, tap it into position, and when you're happy about the position, pick the slab back up, and then you'll be able to see the voids underneath. All right, because you don't want any voids in your mortar, do you? Because that's where the water gets. And then fill the voids up, take your slab then, put your slurry on the back, and then put your slab on and tap it down. And if you apply that principle, it's entirely up to you. If you're going to lay this patio, you want it like a Roman patio where it's going to be down for thousands of years. So I always, even now, I still lay twice basically. I'll put the slab down twice, put it down once dry, then I put the slab down with some slurry on, tap it down, and then I do the next one then on again. And I think that if you follow, but make sure you use those string lines, Jen, and then who's ever laying the patio, when you've got a string line, you're putting your level on. What a lot of guys, I see guys in this industry do it, so-called professionals, they don't get down and have a look underneath the level to make sure that the level is touching the line. Okay. Well, on my last jobs I've been doing, I generally use a 4mm spacer, but on this particular job, I'm going to be laying the next one. I'm going to be using a 3mm spacer, and I think that just reduces the width and the amount of grout that you have to put down, but it's still big enough to allow enough grout to get down in the joint and fill it up as well. So I can help and talk to you through that when you get to that point. Whereabouts are you, Jen?
Sorry, what? Sorry?
Whereabouts are you across the country?
We're in Bournemouth.
Okay. That's good. Have you got the job? Is it all dug out yet at the present?
Yeah, so we're pretty much all prepped. We just got obviously the base to be waxed again with the, I don't know what you call them, compactor.
Yeah.
So that's to do again, and that's why I was kind of asking about the lean mix, so we can get that bit then done, and everything's due to be delivered this week, ready to start the week after. So yeah, I'm just trying to get everything in place, ready to go.
Yeah, absolutely. What I would say, Jen, is that you can actually buy lean mix already done, but I think the trouble is with the companies at the moment, you might get a problem getting stuff. I don't know. But all I would say is when you're using it, just make sure that don't let it dry out too fast. Make sure it's thoroughly mixed. Spread it over. And you've got to remember, Jen, is that whenever you're digging out these levels should always, so when you dig out initially, the bottom should always, and the next horizon and the horizon after that should always reflect the finished fall of your paving.
Yeah.
Okay. I hope this.
Yeah, no, that's lovely.
Yeah, I hope this hasn't overwhelmed you too much.
No, it's been brilliant actually. Your video has been brilliant, and then just having this conversation with you today has helped sort of tie up the last few bits. So thank you.
No, that's no problem at all, Jen. And all I would say is make sure as well in your porcelain you don't have any lipping, and that's the difference in height as well. And I would just seriously, if it's the first patio you guys are laying, is your husband helping you with it?
Yeah, he's doing it.
Oh, fantastic! What's his name?
What's his name? His name's Neil.
Neil, all the best to you, sir. And I just hope that it all comes out. If you have any problems, don't hesitate to give me a call. But what I would do is just take your time. And honest, Jen, when you're putting these slabs down next to each other, just make sure that you don't hit them too hard, because the pros and cons of porcelain is that you can chip them. So just make sure that you lay your slab next to the previous lay slab, and you just put it down nice and easy and take your time with it.
Yeah, brilliant. Lovely. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem at all. I hope the video was helped. Don't forget to give us a like. If you want to go on Google and say how wonderful Green Top Landscapes is with a lovely review, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, that will do. Thank you very much.
You're a star. My pleasure. Take care. Bye-bye, Jen. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you go. That was our first call this morning. If you want to call in this morning, Jen there talking about a lean mix, the benefits of the lean mix. All you have to do is go on Google. If you don't believe me, just type in benefits of using a lean mix. You will see it. It's on there. It's not me. If you want to call in this morning, it doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, where you're going, what you look like. Even if you like football, all the football's on at the moment. The Euros, I enjoy it because I played a little bit of football when I was a young kid, and even when I was an adult. So yeah, enjoying the football. If you want to call in this morning, the telephone number is 07795 664 I am going to read some of the comments now because it's just common courtesy to engage with your audience. It's just how it's done. Let me have a drink because I'm burning here. I am pumping this morning. I've got lots and lots of things to tell you. But we're going to go back. John Ward, I apologise that I never sent it to you. I've got some other things I have to send out to other people. Let's get rid of that now. Let's go back and have a look at some of the comments. We'll go back there. Sharp. Dave Owen says, sharp sand has small stones in it. Builder sand doesn't. Yeah, absolutely. That's the thing. Ezalad says, Johnyboy, I hope you're well. I am laying granite flags tomorrow and the weather is 25 degrees. Should I change anything that I do? Ian, yeah, I think, Ian, what you've got to try and do is give those slabs a bit of a soak, slurry the backs of the slabs and just go along steady. I think that's the key. John Ward and Justin that are actually on here now, the key is to take your time. You need to take your time. Make sure you put that slurry mix on your bed. It'll stop, even if, even an MOT base. I don't know what Justin actually think, and John Ward now, that even the MOT base, even if you mixed up an SBR solution and tipped it on your MOT bed, what it will do, it creates a layer and it will stop the MOT just sucking all the moisture down. I was always doing a dance then, wasn't I? Hey, that was pretty good. Just going to read what people are saying there. Yeah, sharp sand. Baza says, morning reference floor leveling, timber decking. Any need to install an eco drain between the wall and the frame, as decking will be above the DPC level, and is it okay to bridge the decking to the wall? No, I don't think you should ever do any bridging, especially over DPC. If you keep a small gap, even if it's 10 mil with the decking, you're not bridging. As soon as you have that bridging, and you've got to remember with 10 mil you get water running down, it can bridge across and it could potentially cause a problem. So I would actually think very carefully about what you're doing there, Baz, mate. John Ward said, builder's sand should never be used where water penetration is an issue. Never use it to lay slabs or in concrete. Absolutely. It's funny, right? When you look at the places in the Middle East, they got so much sand out there. And John Ward has a valid comment there, is that even in the Middle East and places where there's plenty of sand, they're getting their sand from all over the world because the sand there is no good for construction. And they got loads of it. It's as simple as that. Be careful about what you're doing. Justin from Brickwright says, Morning all, got my own garden to maintain today, so good luck to everyone. Enjoy the weather. Hopefully see you next week. You're a star. That's all I can say. Thanks very much. Hope you boys are okay. Keep up the good work. Nidge says, Johnny Boy, do you know anyone who wants to put a Raimondi Pedalo used once and two unopened dark grey easy grey? Johnny Boy, do you know anyone who wants to buy a Raimondi Pedalo? If that's what you're saying, Nidge, if you've got a Raimondi pedal system, I will have it. Give me a call after. You can call me on 07795 664 002. 07795 664 002. I will repeat that number if you want it. I would buy, if you've got a Raimondi pedal system, I would buy that off you. Alan Backshaw, good morning, sir. How are you feeling this morning, Alan? Good to see you on here. What a cracking guy. Legend. I don't know about that. Let's get rid of that now. Good to see you back, and we'll catch you later. No problem at all. The Drani Ezelan, wear your sunscreen. Yeah, absolutely. I tell you what, like that is from the Drani. Look, my face is a little bit dark. My arms are dark, but I've kept my top on. Watch the sun. So important. Great tip. If anybody's got any tips there for Ian about laying his paving this morning, say these are John and Ward. I know you actually think like these are a bit like Michael Caine style glasses, aren't they? Let's have a look now. John Ward says, yeah, we used a sprayer prior to laying the SBR in, especially in this weather, and using a dry mix. You need to do it to stop it drying quickly. Yeah, absolutely spot on, absolutely spot on. Isn't it great that we have a channel where we have so many guys that have this knowledge where we can start sharing? Hey guys, I'm waiting for a call this morning. Mind if anybody else wants to call in, remember it's 07795 664 002. Lots to tell you. Bazza says thanks, cheers. That says that Ian Azalad's up there up north. Hey guys, one thing I was going to talk about is that for many years, just reading what they say. For many years, I've really harped on about. Look at this on it. That is glue. Watch later when England's playing needs something decent to watch. Come on, Scotland. Yeah, brilliant. Guys, for many years, I've been really banging on the door of e-commerce and the industry in general, for them to actually value you guys out there, the landscapers and the and the consumer, without a shadow of doubt, simply because I really feel that industry and manufacturers don't value. And I've been knocking on the door, pounding on the door, as Alison says, pounding on the door for years to try and get them to listen and to try and value you as contractors, consumers, members of the public. They just can't take our money. We just don't take our customers' money without them feeling valued. And if there's any customers out there that hasn't felt valued, I would beg to differ with me, because I am on the ball, on the case all the time, considering my customers through the duration, through the process of the job. I hold their hand through the process. I make them aware of everything. Any changes, if they want any changes, I talk to them. So communication is key. But what's been lacking in this industry for many years is the communication with industry. It is dreadful. And certainly at a time like this, I don't see them really offering a lot back, only commercials and adverts, and generally want your money. As I've always said, there is nothing wrong with wanting someone's money. That is absolutely fine. It's a healthy thing to want somebody's money. It just means it's how you go about it is the difference. It's how you go about wanting somebody's money. And that's the thing that we don't have off the industry. Even with the consumers, you can send a customer now, a potential customer, to a supplier, and they go in there and they're not valued. I've heard it before. I've heard it many times, and they've said how they've been spoken to. We need to bring some value back, some customer service, some customer care, and just generally being nice, and then it starts working. But I've had a result this week, and like I said, when I start knocking at these doors, when I start knocking and pounding on these doors, I'll only knock a few times, and if they don't want to know, it's as simple as that. I won't keep knocking, because you appear to be desperate. But last week, I had a meeting with a company that want to help you, the consumer, and the contractors that are out there, okay? And it's all to do with education. They want the data back, okay? They want to know what you're doing. They want to know how you go about your business. But as a result of it, hopefully what we're going to be doing, we're going to be offering some training. I ain't going to tell you who the company is at this point. I don't think that it's the right thing to do, because things are at early stages, and you shouldn't shout about things until they actually happen. But I just want you to be aware of what I've actually been doing. So an educational system, and what I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be proposing to Justin from Brickwright is to come down maybe one day a week or one morning a week to a unit where we'll have this educational place where people can come along and learn the basics of how to lay a brick. Okay, and then I'll be speaking to a very good carpenter I know, and he'll be telling us a little bit about carpentry and so on and so on. Maybe we can get Sam Hoffman to come here, who's a wonderful tiler, and they actually talk about some tiling. But we also, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be getting companies to come in and to showcase their products. There's nothing wrong with them showing you their products, but we'll be able to do it at a hub. That's what it will be, a community hub. Andy Jackson says, Johnyboy, how's it going, Andy? Good to see you. Just going to go back and read a few of the comments there if you've got anything to say about what I've just talked about. Nidge says, forgot your number. Nidge, if you're watching now, write this down. The number is 07795664002. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to write that number down now so Nidge can actually see it. Or one second. What we'd be able to do, Nidge, let's get a pen out here and some paper, and we'll be able to get your number on a bit of paper so you can actually see it. Let me just see if I got a marker pen in here. There we go. Let's do it in green. This is for Nidge. This is my number I'm going to be giving out now. No problem at all. No rude calls or messages. Because simply we'll be able to trace your number. So I'll do that again. It's always difficult when you're going live and you're doing these things. Bear with me a sec, because it's so important. We're doing this as we go along. So my number, Nidge, you can phone me on my number, is 07795595994. So this is for Nidge. If you're watching now, this is my number, but I don't think you'll be able to see it. It's for Dr. 07795595994. 07795595994. Hey guys, we're going to find we are finding, we've got Andy Callum coming down next week. Andy Callum, who found us on YouTube, we've talked for some time now. Andy's going to be coming down. He's going to be helping us with our social media. So if you want to give me a ring, Nidge, after 07795595994. John Ward says, great idea that Johnyboy, share the knowledge, educate. It's how we all learn. Well, we're going to get you down there as well, John, without a shadow of doubt. Thanks for the information. Alan Backshaw says, come on, Justin, get him new boots, son. They're talking about boots. What's all this about the boots? Got it, mate. Cheers, Nidge. No problem at all. Brickwright says, yeah, he got green boots now. No way am I changing that. Something's going on there, which I don't know about because I've probably missed out. So we got this. The industry is finally listening to us. John, I'd love you to come down for the day. We will feed you, we will water you, we will talk, and what we can do, we can see about going forward. It's so important, as I've said so many times, is the knowledge we've got is that we need to share it. We're only leasing it. There's nothing wrong with passing your knowledge on to somebody else if they're prepared to listen. We've only got 6 likes this morning. You guys, you need to YouTube how to give a like on a YouTube live feed. You've got to see what you need to do. Look, at this point, like I always do, I always try and read some of the comments that I actually get on my YouTube channel. Yeah, mate, I'll come, no problem, glad to help. John, we want to feed you when you come down. So the idea, and let me just talk about this a little bit more. The idea is that what you see everywhere, there's lots of community hubs out there in related industry where people get together. Luke Dawes says, do you do rendering, Johnyboy? I have sand and cement plinth all the way around my house and it has blown. Being told to use Parex instead. Parex is very good, Luke, but there's a lot to learn about it. Luke, I see there was a message earlier on here. I'm Johnyboy. Have you used Bradstone natural sandstone paving? Was tempted to buy a clearance pallet last week, but didn't commit in the end. Is there any way of sealing it without making it look wet? Yeah, there's a dry look, Luke. There's a lot to it, but you just need to have a conversation with somebody, which I can actually help you with at some point. Just going to go back down now. There's Clive Drummond, actually. Just seen Clive had come on here now. It's Clive, sorry. So Luke Davis, make sure you use an impregnating sealer, will be absorbed and not look wet. Yeah, absolutely. Just get rid of... Now, I lost you there for a minute. Yeah, it's good. I just want to just read what people actually say because it's so important. Yeah, Parex is a good system, but, K-Render is... I think K-Render is made in Northern Ireland, and the mineral that they use it with isn't as good as Parex system. I know Steve Kitely from Parex. He's come down to see me a few times, and it is good. Have any of you guys ever heard of the Tape Slayer reviews? Lee from Chepstow. I tell you what, an absolute brilliant plasterer indoors and outdoors, and he's taught me a few things. So that's the thing that we're going to be doing as well. Anything that we need to be educated in that we can pass on, we are almost like information gatherers, so we can pass the information on. This community is information gatherers. That's what we do. We gather information so we can pass on to other people so they can learn and not fall foul to the mistakes that we have, without a doubt. I'm sure John Ward and Justin would admit in a drop of a hat that we've made mistakes before. Weber is better than K-Render in my opinion. Absolutely. It'd be good to speak to you about that. I agree with that. Weber, forgot all about it. Isn't it amazing how many products are actually on the marketplace out there? You've talked about 3: Weber, Parex, K-Render as plastering systems. Then we look at grouting system. It seems to be that every Tom, Dick and Harry is jumped on the board in manufacturing these products. And what I would say, it's always good to go with a reputable company to ensure that the companies that you're dealing with, that you're buying product with, have got the support and they're able to give you the advice. Steve Bruce. I don't know if that's Steve Bruce, the football manager, but hi Steve, how's it going, mate? Can you get any tickets if it's Steve Bruce? There we go. Do you know if Parex would be more hardy? Being told that the reasons it's blown is because the sand and cement plinth soaks up the water from the ground. I'm not sure, Luke. I think a lot of the problems that have created... what you probably need to do, what I would do in this case, is it wouldn't take long, just as the same amount of time it is to watch this live stream, is to actually go on YouTube and have a look at their systems. Normally they'll have a video on there, but what I would do is go and read the reviews about it. And it's about the law of averages, I'm afraid. That's what we have to look about. You get good installation, you get good product, you can get bad products. That bad product can be installed by a good installer who can actually install it a little bit better than using a bad product and installing it even worse. It's as simple as that. John Ward says, made loads of mistakes and still making them, but it's how you deal with them that counts and not making the same ones again. Do you know the thing is, John, with me, I tell you what, I make mistakes without a shadow of doubt, but my heart is in everything I do. My heart is in everything I do and when I'm doing a job, and I really believe in it. And I just... the passion I put into things, even when I talk to people as well, I think sometimes, John, they probably see my passion and my kindness as a weakness, and that's a great shame, isn't it? I'm just going to refresh that page there now. That is a great shame, isn't it? When somebody sees your kindness and your passion as a weakness, and it's not, it's my strength, and it really is. So never underestimate it. There you go. I went up to London this week as well to see a client, popped up and had a look over the weekend, and just went and had a look at their project, and they've had a little bit of a problem, and hopefully I'll be able to help them out as well. I'm not going to read all these comments on it, but these are sort of the comments I actually get in. And they refer to some of these where I go along sometimes and I see these jobs that have gone wrong, and I want to go along and see these jobs, not because it's clickbait. If my YouTube channel was about clickbait, I'd be making some real sort of fantastic looking thumbnails, and to really give it the look and the theatre and the drama that's almost like a Hollywood bestseller. But I'm not doing that. Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should change my thumbnails. I have got Canva to design this. Hey guys, remember, if you feel that there's anything that you can help me with in some respect, or any advice you can give, just give me a shout. Luke says, thanks for the advice. I will have to get you down at this end of the country next year to sort out our garden, not too far from Llanelli. Luke, I'd love to come down and have a look, mate. It's great when people locally contact me, because it's easy for me to pop and see them. I love to pop and see people, have a cup of tea and talk about what they're actually doing. Steve Bruce says, what is the best sealer for an Indian sandstone patio? Want to colour and answer, but don't want a wet look. Any advice? Well, do you know, I like I said, I always try to be totally impartial on here, and I will continue to be impartial in the best way I can, and I will favour companies. I know that Ryan Boots, who I work for, has produced a sealer. It's called Elements. There it is here. This is a sample of the first water-based sealer. There it is. It's called Elements. That's the first one. I haven't used it at the moment, but I will be using it in the future. But to be fair to Ryan, he put me on to another company called Floor Seal, because their stuff seems to be good. And I spoke to a guy called Graham at Floor Seal. But if you phone up, just mention that you found his name from this channel. And Graham was absolutely inspiring. He was a little bit like me. He didn't stop talking, and I couldn't get a word in. Can you actually believe it? I couldn't get a word in. So I spoke to Graham at some length about sealers and how to remove porcelain haze from after you've grouted it, because this can be a real problem. But I would say don't panic. Don't panic. There's a way of getting rid of it. But the most important thing is just do enough what you can actually manage to do. Don't run away with it. I had a bit of a problem this week because the pedalo system, I lost the plug to the pedalo system, and you've got to have lots of clean water ready to start cleaning your patio. All these systems that are out there where you're grouting the patios, it does leave a haze on. It's a tiler's, not a nightmare, it's a problem that tilers see on a day-to-day basis. And that's why I've been speaking about for some time about that what we're actually doing with this porcelain is almost like tiling. It really is. We have to think of it in a different way. Whether you agree with that, I'm not sure. Let's have a look what John Ward says. Absolutely, Justin. Never make mistakes. Someone's kindness and helpful nature as a sign of weakness. Yeah, 100%. Look, let's get on. Stop reading some of these comments on the YouTube channel. Let me just go through. Let's have a look at it. Spot lane leads to ants building nests under the slabs tiles, and they are close to your house. May find their way in, perhaps through under the gap of the door sill. This is what happened to me. Tiles were laid by a previous owner. So how insects can be problematic. So that's why you need to put a full bed underneath. Lone Star Sale, I'm going to read that one. Where is the trap here? I left the trap out. Let's have a look now. Just stroll over it. We've got Lee Andy on here. Thank you, Lee. Yeah, I had Lee Handy working with me. Come down from, he's not from Liverpool originally, he's from Malvern. Lee and Ryan, and you know, they've helped me, just unbelievable. I'm just blown away by their kindness and their kindness in turning up and helping me and Justin the other week, and it had helped me out a lot, masses. Somebody says that Alison's nice misses. Yeah, that's good. Thanks very much for that. Looks like there's been pea-sized gravel as a sub base under the sharp sand. Let's have a look now. Hi John, thanks for the video the other day. I'm currently in the process of refurbishing some outside steps. Could you please tell me if granite is suitable for the treads? It is slippy when wet. Also, what thickness granite did you use for those risers? And final 2 questions. What was your mortar mix and what depth? Sorry, one more. Take the Mapai is applied to the tread and the riser and adhesion again. So what he's referring to there, Nidge says, Travis Perkins, I know, mate. I had to buy mine from Belfast. Yeah, there you go. Granite, the same again as all paving that we see out there at the moment, is so thin and it just absorbs everything. It's just so thin. So we have to think differently how we fix these units. So when I do those steps, I think he's referring when I did the granite steps, where I'd done the steps in concrete, and then what I'd done with it is I actually used Mapai Rapid exterior set on those steps. But what I actually done was to back butter the riser and the tread as well. So butter your concrete and then butter your unit. But you've got to make sure that your unit that you're sticking down is being cleaned off, because sometimes when they've been calibrated in these factories, they're full of dust. So get that cleaned off the back, because your slurry, your grate system isn't going to work. So Jenny, if you're watching Anil this morning and you're using that porcelain, make sure, usually porcelain is good, but certainly with sandstones, sometimes when they calibrate the back, you get all that dust, that white dust in, and it's all on there on the back. You need to get that off and use a slurry mix on the back of that. And the other thing, of course, when you're building those steps and you've got your step like this, then you have your riser. What you can actually do, you can make sure that your riser sits lower than your tread, and then it's not going to kick out. It's going to hold. The idea is that it's not meant to as well, but it's all added, it's balance and braces, that tread is going to hold that riser in place, as well as the adhesive on the back of this part as well. So important to do that. You've got to make sure that it works, okay? And also, you've got to make sure that you have an overhang with a capillary groove so the water can drop down the face. I must remember that. If you're looking for a fluting wheel to create that beautiful looking, it's almost like this. This is what you want. I don't know if John is still with us at the moment. Is that if you look at this now, John, there we are. There you have it. There is the capillary groove. Okay, it's U-shaped, and then the water can drop down there. So basically, the water runs off here, down the face, goes underneath, up here, and that's what that U-shape for, and then it runs down. So it's so important that you use that. Make sure that if you have any treads, that you have a capillary groove in. We've got a consumer. Let's have a look there. Let's have a look now. Costa, how's it going? Good morning. Sent you an email yesterday. Just wondering if you have had a chance to take a look at it. It's the job in Cheshire. Thanks, Costa. I will have a look at it this morning. Never had time yesterday. I was so busy, but I promise I will have a look at it and I will get back to you about that job. And if you want to give me a ring anytime, my number is 07795 595 994. More than happy to talk you through it. Well, guys, it's fast approaching that time now. We've got a few minutes left. But if you've got anything to say, now's the time to say. I'm still having these notifications coming in. We're going to be sharing things a little bit differently in the future on my Instagram. I've been very, very quiet lately. If you've got any advice, no problem, Costa. My pleasure. It'd be good to speak to you. Got a lot of notifications coming in at the moment. If you've got any technical advice about anything that I do, even if it's about the paving or laying bricks or stonework, plastering, whatever it is, or even planting, I don't mind at all. If there's any help that you can help me with my media channel, no problem at all. If you want to partake in the educational centre and you want to come down for a meetup through Landscape and Survival with Johnyboy as well, and with a number of companies. If you want to come down and see companies showcasing their products, please feel free to contact me. You can drop me an email at info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. That's info@greentoplandscapes.co.uk. Hey, I just love my branding here. There we are. Look at that. Fantastic. And also you can send it to info@landscapingsurvival.com. info@landscapingsurvival.com. If you're looking for a ruby suction cup, just let us know. If you're looking for a ruby wetzel, let me know. If you need some help, let me know. If you need some advice, just ask. It's here. We're together. We're building a community. That's it. It's done. It's finished. It's Saturday morning, live with Johnyboy. We're at that point now where I'm going to call it a day. Don't forget to go on the ITS website. We've got to say a massive thank you to ITS for what they do. Just going to read a couple of things, what people say. I'd just like to stay with this a minute. We get them done drip joint by a firm, but he does it for £2 a metre. No brainer. Absolutely. John, if you want to share that link at some point, that'd be great. It's so important. James Justin says, have a good week and enjoy weekend. Justin from Brickright. I'm a graphic web designer, so if you need any help on the front, let me know. Luke, I'd love... This is great. Luke, I'd love you to sort of help me with a couple of things. Maybe if you want to have a go and have a look at my channel on Green Top Landscapes. I'm looking for some graphics on the front. Maybe you can help me with that. I'm not quite sure. Dropped a few texts to you, mate. Okay. Stay safe, Alison. John, all the rest. Thank you, John. I will write that number down. I'm not used to this iPhone. It's an absolutely pain at the moment. An absolute pain. We got a few there. Have a good weekend. Cheers, Johnny. Ben Legs Taffy. Kevin Ring. Well done, fella. Have a great weekend. Clive Drummond says, have a good one, guys. All the best. Thanks for joining. Be safe. So important. If you don't like the football, don't watch it. If you like the football, watch it. Take care. See you soon. All the best, guys.